Hey, Marseille. I'm just getting started. Elso! Hey, I've never seen you on my live before. How are you doing? Can y'all see the title of the video? Can y'all see what this video is about? I thought that it was actually, I don't know where it shows up. I just put the titles on there and then I just keep on going. Give me a thumbs up if you see the title. If you don't see the title, put a thumbs down. I don't even want thumbs. Just say no. Don't thumbs me down, please. I can't handle it. But if you can see the title, give me a thumbs up. If not, I'll just put it in the comments. How are y'all doing? I see you guys are social distancing yourselves because you are here on a Friday. Hey, Trissy. You can see the title? All right, that's what's up. Okay. Tell me how y'all are doing. How has your day been? What did you get into? I went shopping today, and I bought things that I honestly, I didn't need to buy them. I bought like 5 nail polishes. What else? I bought some foundation that makes my face turn orange. So now I gotta take it back. And I'm not gonna put it up because I'm not trying to put sis out like that. But my face was orange, so I can't wear it nowhere unless I want to look like a clown. You're cleaning up before bed. That's what's up. I did what I consider cleaning, but I'm pretty sure you did way more than I did. Cause if I sit in my room long enough, then I'll actually clean things up. But if I'm not in here, I just leave it alone. I leave it all the way alone. How's everybody else doing? How was your day? What did you do today? Tell me something fun that you did, or relaxing that you did, entertaining. Did you watch something funny on TV? I need new shows to watch, high key. Like I'm getting kind of tired of everything that's on TV. People keep telling me to watch Naruto, and I'm not sure if I'm at that level yet. I don't know if it got that serious. So yeah, let me know. Let me know how you guys are doing. I'm gonna give it like a couple more minutes, but I don't know about y'all. I really don't like when people spend like 5 minutes on their lives I don't know what they're doing actually. I guess they're waiting for people to come in, but it takes such a long time. And I'm ready to talk about what I gotta talk about. So yeah. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know how your day is going, what you've been up to. And then we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Bring these down. Okay. So I'm going to get started, y'all. Okay, so last week, if you were here last week, I was talking about relationships during quarantine, or the lack thereof, because it was kind of half and half. So some people have relationships, some people are married, and then you have the people that are single. And so I was asking people, are you in a relationship or are you single? Like single, or are you in a thing? Like, I guess that, like, you're still single, but maybe there's someone there, there's somebody that's around, or people around. I don't know, whatever your lifestyle is. And so we were just talking about quarantine in general, and how hard it is for people to, like, be able to connect with one another. If you are single, it's basically like, how could I even date anybody in this climate? And then there are some people who are perhaps, like, stuck in the house all day with their partners or with their spouse, and they're, like, going crazy, like they're about to lose their mind, like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, like, I need out. And so it was really interesting to hear how everybody's doing on that. But I was very honest about where I am with it. And I was like, I really feel single sometimes. And I want to, like, sometimes I desire, like, to have, like, that person near me, or, have somebody that I'm close to in that way, and I just don't have it. And so, and I was here talking about the fact that I think people are horny, like, they want to be with somebody, like, they're tired, they're over it, they're really over it. And I think we definitely saw that, like, take place with Club COVID down in Atlanta. Like, people were getting it in, and I get it. It's like, man, I haven't been interacting with anybody for weeks, and I am going crazy. I just need to get some. And so, the videos were everything shy of legitimate sex. Like, it was really intense. So we were just talking about that, and it was like a good time. It was like a fun conversation. And so today I was since that last live, I was like, okay, well, then what should we talk about in our next video? And so I came up with situationships, and with situationships / like one night stands. And I came up with this, and then I realized at a certain point that not realized, it was kind of always happening, but that the whole thing with Jada Pinkett, not me, Lord, Jada Pinkett and August Alsina, and that whole thing kind of blowing up. But then today they dropped the video talking about glossing over, like, the whole situation. And I thought that was interesting, because the way that she talked about it was like, you could definitely tell that there are some things that have not really been addressed. And her stance on it was very interesting, because it was like, I think it happened, but I got what I needed at that time. And I felt like that kind of played into the whole like situationship thing. 'Cause obviously, it's an affair, but still, like, I feel like that's like one of, like, the ultimate situationships, because you're in this thing with this person, like, you're in this relationship with this person who is not, there isn't a future for you, really, unless you're in one of those circumstances where, the person leaves their partner for you. Then I guess, then there's some kind of clarity, but even then, that's not guaranteed that they're going to then choose you. And then there's not a guarantee that that's what the person that's outside of the marriage even wants, or outside of the relationship. Well, in this case, in marriage, because, that's legally binding. And so I just thought that it was interesting that all of that kind of dropped today, and they kind of like dropped that bomb on us randomly. And so I guess I really wanted to, I guess, talk about the effects of a situationship and what that means, and like how it can impact people. And so I actually like did like a little bit of a like a little bit of research on what it means in the first place. And so I think actually four things that I felt like really stood out to me in terms of like a situationship and what is lacking, or at least in my experience, what it was always lacking. And so one of the things was open communication. And so in any situationship that I've been in, minus one, which was like more like a one night stand, it was definitely, there was no real communication. It was just kind of like, I'm talking to you to know when we're going to hook up next. But in terms of like us really talking about a future or what we're going to do, it was like, nah. Hey sis, what's up? In terms of like, you know, where are we going with this? Like, what does this mean? It was like a dub. Like, that was not happening. And then when it came to, I'm talking about situationships. So I was talking about the four things that I noticed in situationships / one night stands that are lacking in just like a healthy relationship. And so the first thing I was talking about was open communication. And then the second thing is trust. So, you know, I'm learning that for me to be able to trust somebody, like, I have to see that they show up in my life consistently. And that means like they reach out to me and they text me on a consistent basis. They are who they say they are. Like, their actions line up with their words. That, you know, like, I see how they act with other people. Like, all of that works to build my trust with this person. What's up? Hey, y'all. I'm talking about situationships and what they lack in terms of just like a healthy relationship in general. And so I talked about open communication. That's definitely one of the things that's like, nah. And then the other thing is trust. And I think that when you get into it, depending on what you want out of a situationship, you might you might be okay with that, and I get it. I think at a certain point I was okay with it. But after a while I was like, I don't feel fulfilled in this. Like, this like high key feels like a waste of my time. And so as you guys are coming in, let me know, have you been in a situationship or have you had a one night stand? Just say like yes to either one, and I'll know what you mean. But have you ever been in the situationship before? So as you're typing that, I'm gonna keep on going. Yes, high key, yes. I've been in like way more than I should have, like way more. And so okay, so interesting story with the whole trust thing. So in college, it was like situationship city. Like, I was like the queen of like not being in a consistent relationship. And so there's this one guy that I really, really liked him. But we were never a thing, like an official thing. And so, and I see y'all yes is coming in. Thank you. And so we were never in an official thing. And so I remember he was actually pledging a fraternity. And if y'all know, like, Divine Nine, they don't play. Like, you don't, you only people who can know that you're pledging, like, that you're going through that process, are people who are like real close to you. And of course, you know, like, you start looking struggly after a while, so people can kind of guess that you're going through it. But in general, like, you only share that information with like close people. And so me and this guy, we were talking, and I heard like through the grapevine that he was pledging, and I was like, what? So you're telling me that me and this dude have been hooking up for weeks months actually, and I never knew this about him. Like, I never knew. Like, he kept all of this from me. And then even during that time, we kind of like weren't really consistent. Like, we weren't really talking like that. We would talk every once in a while. And there was this, I remember the last time that we talked, the last time we hooked up, I was like, I actually found some of his stuff, like his paraphernalia. I found it in his bathroom, and he didn't know. And so I didn't tell him. And so I went back into his room, and I was like kind of hoping that he was going to, be open with me and tell me what was going on. Y'all, this dude never told me. He never told me. And so I was like heartbroken over that, because I actually did, like, I really liked him, and I took it kind of hard. But again, like, that goes both ways, because, I didn't feel comfortable enough opening up to him and telling him that I knew, and that, I was like, I didn't want to confront him. I didn't want to I didn't want to like cause a rift or anything like that. I didn't want to be troublesome. So I never told him. I mean, to this day, like, he still doesn't know that I knew, like, and that it hurt my feelings. But like, that goes to that trust piece where, like, neither one of us could really trust each other to like be vulnerable and open up. So that was something that I realized that I actually wanted in a relationship. So like with situationships, it's like, it's not there. It's not there. So I'm looking at some of y'all comments now, y'all. So you had so much that created a mini me. Yes. We got to talk about that, girl. We got to talk about that, because my son came from a situationship. Hi, sisters. Hey, Janelle. Hey, Shantae. My son came from a situationship. So I get it. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, and I'm looking, you said I was in a situationship for 7 years, had to let it go. Yeah. And they can go on for so long. And I was in one where it was like, it kind of like broke up, and then it came back around, and I was like, why is it so easy for me to fall back into this trap? Like, I was getting so frustrated with myself. Like, how? So, hey, sisters. My sisters just came in, y'all. We're talking about situationships. So type yes if you've ever been in a situationship, or if you've ever been or if you ever had a one night stand. Just put yes and for either one. And so and then just let me know. Yours is a son to yes. No, I knew we had something in common. I knew it. Like, we are here. I get it. So yeah. Oh, and I'm talking to the whole time. I'm talking to Heal Girl Heal. Her brand is so awesome. She has journals. She talks about healing. I love it. I love it so much. So shout out to her for hopping on and showing some love. And so, it's your situation no for one night stand. Yes. So, okay. So the next thing that I was looking for in a relationship was respect. And that's a big one, because it's a little tricky, because I know a lot of people don't feel disrespected necessarily when they're in a relationship, or in like a, if you have a one night stand, especially for women, we don't want to be like, I feel like my body was taken advantage of, or, he took advantage of me, or whatever. We want to feel like we have ownership of our body. But at the same time, it's like, I'm still a person aside from my body and what I offer you physically. I'm still a person, and are you going to acknowledge my humanity? And like, that for me was a big deal for me too, especially because I just had like a lot of trauma that was deep rooted, and I was using these relationships. Hey, Anka, I was using these relationships to fill a void. So even on my side, I wasn't respecting you. Like, I was sorry to that man, because I did not respect any of them, like, for real. And I feel bad saying that, but I know for a fact that I didn't care. I didn't care for a lot of them, especially like the one night stands from Winnipeg. What's up, girl? And so, yeah, I was like, I didn't respect them because I knew what I needed from them, and that's all that was important to me. And it wasn't necessarily the physical part that was a part of it, but really it was like I need to fill this void that's in my heart. I like low key felt like an addict, but like not even sex. I just needed to feel like validated by them. So the respect wasn't there on both sides. So let me know how you guys feel about this list so far, and let me know like what was one thing about the situationship that you were in that made you have to get out of it, because I'm interested to know, like, what did that look like for you? What was it like the breaking point where you were just like, I can't do this no more, I can't take it. So you can do that however you want. If it's a little bit longer, I don't mind, I'll sit here and read it. But let me know if you feel comfortable sharing that with me. How did you know that it was time for you to cut ties? Like it just wasn't working out for you. So yes, I'm just looking at what y'all are saying now. Yes, we are connected. Yes, we are connected, girl. Yes. So the next thing, as you guys are answering the question, again, the question is, how did you know it was time to cut ties with your situationship? So, intimacy was also like a big thing that was missing in these relationships. And I'm not talking about the physical part, because obviously if we're having sex, there is physical intimacy, there's some kind of chemistry there. I'm not just like hooking up with you because I'm not attracted to you. Like, come on, like something's there. But intimacy that is, it goes a little bit deeper. And I always thought that it was interesting because I could have sex with these people, but then I couldn't open up to them about who I really was. I didn't feel safe with them. And so there was a lot of things that just wasn't really, I didn't feel like I could be myself with them. So I'm looking at Shantae's comment now. It was a soul tie. Girl, okay. We were connected on a mental level. We weren't connected on a mental level. It was all about sex. Yeah. So you get what I'm talking about. Like, it was all about sex. Okay? Like, we're not talking about that. I don't even know why you're talking to me. Like, don't text me and tell me about your day, because I don't care. I don't care. I mean, you could probably, dip a little bit in there, but don't get too deep, because I don't want to do that with you. I don't want that. And yeah, struggling to be vulnerable, struggling to tell you like the things about myself that I feel like might make you dip. Like, you don't want to like walk into like, okay, I don't want anything serious, I just want to hook up, but I have daddy issues. Like, what? Like, you can't do that. Nobody wants that. So yeah, I couldn't be intimate with them past the physical level. So I'm reading Heal Girl, Heal Now. He got another girl pregnant, and I became someone that I said I would never be. Got tired of feeling like I was unworthy of commitment. Yes. Yeah. And so that's the part where it really started to click for me. And mind you, I had to like separate myself from like relationships in general. Like, I had to be single for real in order to come to that understanding, because I kind of knew it, but I think a part of me just didn't believe it. I didn't believe it was that deep. I was like, it's okay, I can hook up with him, it's all right. I mean, like, I'm still doing this and that, I'm still a good person, I'm still doing this or that. And but I was like for real struggling. Like, it was like some real, like, it was like a real disconnect going on mentally. And so it just wasn't healthy for me. Hey, Amber. So sorry y'all if I cut out, I had a bad connection for a second. So we're just talking about intimacy, or not intimacy, we're talking about situationships, Amber. So let me know if you've ever been in one, a situationship, one night stands. Just type yes if like you can relate. And so So yeah, so going back to heal girl heal, I felt because of the situationships and the one night stands, I didn't feel worthy of commitment. And let me rephrase that, because it wasn't because of them. That was my way of showing that I didn't believe I was worthy, because that came like way before. That was like baggage I came in with from childhood. And so, but because of that's like what I was feeling internally, I was okay with just going into these situations, not understanding that, I deserved to have a relationship where somebody was open with me, where I could be open with them. I deserved trust, respect, intimacy, and the other person deserved it too, because it's not just about me. But because I didn't believe that I deserved it, I wasn't treating them like that either. Like I wouldn't even do it. I was like, it's like that scripture where it's like, if you don't, no, it's not a scripture, but how can you love anyone else if you don't love yourself? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's the scripture. But you can't love anybody if you don't love yourself, if you don't love God first and foremost. But if you don't love yourself either, you definitely can't love anybody else. And I didn't love myself. And I had to be honest about that, because I had a lot of things like coming into my mind where it was like, okay, well, on one hand, it's like women empowerment. My body is my body. You're not going to slut shame me. We had that the bald head woman doing the what was it, the hoe walks or something. I forgot what they was called, girl. But they like the hoe walks and stuff. Like they were doing all of that stuff. So it was like, on one hand, it's like, no, this is my body. I'm a free woman. I should be able to do this. But on the other hand, it's like, but I don't really feel good. Like, for real, like, regardless of what you say I can do in my body, I did not feel good. Slut walk, thank you. I cannot remember what it was called. Or is that what it was called? Amber Rose. Yeah, Amber Rose was doing the walks. I called them a hoe walk, didn't I? Slut walk, one of those derogatory terms. Yeah, becoming the person that you never thought you would be. And so, hi, Alina. Hi, sis. And so, I had like these two competing thoughts, and it was like, which one do I listen to? Because, I want to be able to be like, feel like an empowered woman, but like, at a certain point, I was like, that doesn't feel like empowered to me. That just feels like I am a slave to something else, which is not free to me. Like, I didn't feel freedom in that. I felt very much stuck in a cycle that was very traumatizing for me, that was not healthy. It was very damaging to my self-worth. And so I couldn't continue it anymore for my own well-being. So I'm going to stop for a second, because y'all having a conversation and I feel like I'm missing out. Yes, girl, both could not survive in my heart. There was no peace. Yeah. And that's how I felt too. Like there was just no peace. Thank you. I was like, I don't know how to talk about this in a way. I mean, I guess I did know how to talk about it in a way, but I don't talk about it very often, like publicly. So I'm very grateful that everybody like is enjoying it and can relate to it on some level, because it's been like a lot of years of like journaling and reflection, and like some really hard nights, and like relapsing because I was messing it up. Like I knew, and then I would like go back into the situationships. So I was like not consistent at all. I was really messing myself up. Severe denial. Yeah. And then you have to think like, is it worth it for me to have like to lose my peace and my sanity? It just wasn't worth it for me. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it anymore. So, because of that, I know now that like situationships are a dub. It's a dub. Which I don't know if people outside of New York say that. New Yorkers got me saying that, y'all. But basically they're a done deal for me. I can't do it because that's just like the signature trademark of a situationship, is just this ambiguity and just confusion, and I don't like it. Like I'm not even that kind of person. If a guy's trying to talk to me, you can't tiptoe around it. You have to be very straightforward with me, because otherwise I'm going to assume you don't like me, because I'm not trying to embarrass myself. Okay? Y'all ever thought somebody was talking to y'all and they weren't talking to y'all? That's embarrassing. So I would just rather you be straight up. I don't want to read between the lines. I just want you to put it in plain English so that we can move forward or end it right there, because I can't do it no more. Thank you, Janelle. Yes, thank you. I had like a tough time with it. Just like, getting on, like, clicking the live button and like coming on here. But I just think that it's important to talk about it, because in the year of our Lord 2020, we're still in situationships, and I just don't see them working out for anybody. I don't see them working out for us, and I just think that we could be using our time doing something else than being in this weird just bubble of question marks. So I think I had like a couple of questions I want to ask you guys. If you are up for the questions, give me some hearts. Or if anybody wants to come on with me, put a request in. I think you have to come out and then come back in. I don't know how to request you. But if not, I'm just gonna ask you guys some questions. Or you can ask me questions. However, those are the three options. But yeah, if you want to come on with me, if you want to share how you feel about it, if you want to share like a story or what you learned, I think that's easier than trying to type it. So request it so I can add you in the video. But I was wondering if there's anybody who's like not opposed to situationships. Like, is there anybody who like feels that there is like a time and a place for them? Because I'm definitely open to hearing other people's perspectives on it. Again, I have not found them to be beneficial to me. I learned a lot from them, but again, like at this time in my life, at this stage in my life, I don't see it's a waste of my time now. It's a waste of my time. But I don't know, like maybe in college, or in that place where you're not really looking to be in a serious relationship, but maybe you want to have like a connection with somebody. I don't know. So is there anybody who thinks who sees like a benefit to them? Because if so, I'm interested to hear your perspective on that. And then also, what have you... So some people already put what they learned from them, but what did you learn from being in the situationship? Like, what did you get out of it, or even the one night stand? I'll tell you guys the story as you guys are typing that. I'll tell you guys the story of my very last one night stand, and unfortunately, it happened it was not that long ago. It was not that long ago at all. So, I see somebody coming in. So Janelle says situationships are life lessons that I believe are rooted in some form of trauma. That's good. Yeah. I kind of feel the same way too. Like, they are kind of rooted in trauma. So yeah. So what's the shock face for, Walina? If it's because of what I said, it was like 2 years ago. It wasn't that close. I'm just saying, like, I wish that it was further. I wish that it was much earlier in my life than 2 years ago. But it was like 2 years ago. It wasn't yesterday. But yeah, so there's this guy, and I met him at work. He at first, like, he wasn't really like checking for me or nothing like that. But I helped him out as I was working. And so he, we just had like a cool conversation, and he thought that I was cute. So he was like, hey, can I get your number? So we started texting, and the guy, the guy came, he started like, at first he came off like a very like grounded, like, this is who I am, a very like, what's the word I'm looking for? Earnest. I can't think of another word, y'all. Earnest, I don't know. But he just seemed like he was cool, like he was chill. And then you guys, this is how I knew he was down for the cause. He sent me a picture of himself that I did not ask for, by the way. He sent a picture of himself with, like, out of the gym, and after the gym picture. and he had on just a towel. And I said, oh my gosh, this guy is not about nothing. Oh, man. I was like, how did this happen? How did this happen? I thought that he was like serious, that he was looking for somebody to really talk to. This dude was not looking for nobody serious. And that was like the first like, that went off in my head. I was like, okay, he ain't really about nothing for real. But I'm gonna keep on texting him anyway, because I like the attention. And so I kept texting this dude. And then eventually he asked for my, no, he asked me out on a date. Yes, he should have been blocked, Shantae. But this is the thing though. I was okay. I knew. And this is why I needed help, because I knew that he wasn't about nothing. I didn't care. I was okay. I was okay with that. So he asked me out on a date. And so I go on the date with him. And y'all, on the way to this date, it was, first of all, it was like so many things were like happening to kind of block it from happening. But I steamrolled through all of those obstacles, like all of them. I was like, I don't care. I'm going to figure out a way to get to this guy, because I already know what's up. I've seen his body. I know what he's about. I know it's a definite yes. So I'm going. Hey, D. I am going to this date, and I am going to let whatever happens happen. So I go on this date. I stayed the course. Yes. So I go on this date, and so I'm talking to him, and so I'm upfront. First of all, I was like, yeah, I have a son, I have a child. And so he was like, oh, okay. And he didn't ask me too many questions about my son. That was another thing I realized. He was like, he was down. He was here for a good time, not a long time. He was not about the longevity. He already knew where he was at. And so he starts talking, and then he's like, yeah. I was like, so what are you looking for in a relationship? Because remember, I told y'all, I don't do well with the cues. I was picking up on it, but I needed him to say it. Like, if you can't say it, then you're being childish. So I asked him, I was like, what are you looking for in a relationship? And so he was like, honestly, I'm not really looking for a relationship. I'm just looking for somebody to hang out with, to just talk to, somebody I can chill with. A situationship. Okay, that's exactly what he was looking for. And so he told me all of this, and as I'm hearing it, and so I made it through the obstacle course. Y'all got me weak. So he had this whole conversation or whatever, and so I continue, we're just talking. And so I guess at this point I was really just getting the preliminaries out the way, so I can rationalize in my head what's about to go down, because I already knew. I already knew. And so we leave the restaurant, or the bar. It was a bar. So we leave the bar. And then he was like, we were sitting in his car for a little bit. We were talking, and I was feeling it. I was like, okay, like, we have to figure out where this is happening. And so he asked me, he's like, you going to your place or my place? And I was like, we can't go to my place, because that's just not going to happen. So we go to his place, and lo and behold, you guys, we have sex. So I hook up with him, and the whole time it was just very interesting, because I was really good at blocking out everything in my head that was telling me this is a bad idea, until it happened. No, Alina, I didn't. I was being so reckless, and this is why I needed to stop. No one knew where I was. I went to this man's house, didn't know him at all. Didn't know his last name, still don't remember his name. Like, everything about this was just like not safe. And so actually, I'm trying to think. No, I did tell somebody. I told my best friend like where I was or whatever, and what I was doing. So she knew, and she lived in New York with me. So if something happened, she would have been able to come and help me out. But other than that though, nothing else about that was safe. And so it happens, and then afterwards, he's taking me back to my car so I can, go ahead and go home. And the ride there, he asked me, how, like, if I was okay or what I was thinking about. And I thought that was weird, Because in my head, I was thinking, oh, this can't never happen again. This was a mistake. That was literally my thought. But when he when he asked me, I didn't respond with that answer. I was like, oh, nothing, I'm good. Just thinking, I'm tired. So then I get in my car, I tell him goodbye. And I knew in my head that was like goodbye. And so the next day he texts me. And I just told him straight up. I was like, all right, I can't do this. I can't keep up this lifestyle. Like, it's just not for me. Pretty much in so many words what I said. So I sent him that, and he was like, okay, well, if you ever change your mind, I'm here. And I was like, okay. I deleted his number, y'all. I deleted it. I deleted that text message thread. I deleted the calls, like all the call logs, all of that stuff. I deleted it all. And that was like, I guess that was like, I don't know what that was for me. I don't know why that was like the moment where it was like, okay, I gotta be serious about this, because I can't keep doing this no more. I can't keep doing it. And so that was my last one night stand. And so I bring that up just like as a quick, not quick, like a fun story, but just to show like how much of a waste of time it really is, like in the grand scheme of things. Like, all that encounter was really good for was to show me that I never want to do it again. And I really didn't believe, like, I felt bad because I felt like I didn't respect him. I definitely didn't respect him. He was not respected. I don't even remember that man's name. And that's like wild to me. I cannot remember his name. I don't know if God blocked it out my mind or what, but I cannot remember that man's name. So yeah, what you guys think about this? Well, I saw y'all talking through it. What do you guys think about, was it similar to that, an encounter for you? Is that how it happened for you? And I'm going through now, I'm reading what you guys sent. So Shantae said, I learned to guard my heart. There will be times after sex where I will go in the bathroom and look at myself in the mirror and be like, this is not me. Yeah. I had that moment in his bathroom. Weird, right? So weird. In his bathroom. I was like, oh man, this ain't it, sis. This is not it. You look wild. This is crazy. You got to go home after this. Did you think about that? This is me talking to myself. I fell backwards into situationships every time a good man would show up. I used it as a crutch not to accept what was potentially good for me. That's interesting. Yeah. And I don't think that the people that I was talking to were bad people. I just think they were hurt just like I was, and we weren't willing to work on ourselves. We were using other people to try to fill that void. So for sure, yeah. Not only that, I stayed the course, but I stayed the course. I was like, look, it's been a long time. Y'all not finna stop this. You're not finna stop this. It's happening for me. I deserve this. Mama D, I deserve. Okay? That's how I felt about it. Made it through the obstacle course. Yeah. Issa Rae moments in the mirror. Yes. And my reflection was cussing me out. It was cussing me out. Like, she was straight giving me the business. So, yes, wasn't worth remembering. And that's true. He himself has worth. I will never say somebody doesn't have worth, but definitely I don't need to know who that man is. I don't need to be able to be connected with him anymore. So, yes, you guys. Is there anything else? Did anybody have questions? I don't think anybody did. I didn't see any. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. But just to do a quick recap of everything that I was mentioning before, in case you came in a little bit later. The 4 things that I was saying that I say situationships lack that I needed out of a relationship was open communication, trust, respect, and intimacy. And I think that those apply to any relationship, not just romantic relationships. Anybody who I've been friends with for a long time, that's what we've developed. So if I'm going to be in a relationship, a romantic one, where you're getting my body, I need all 4 of those things, off bat. That's not even up for negotiation. So yeah, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for coming on with me. Giving my kisses early before I click the end button. But thank you guys so much. Was it good? Thank you. How did everybody feel about it? Did you learn anything new, or was it just fun to like have a place to talk about it? Yes, thank you. Heal, girl, heal. I have to put your real name in here so I can use your real name next time, because I know for a fact like we got to stay connected. Yes, thank you guys so much. I think I might want to, I definitely want to keep it going. And let me know if there's like another topic that you guys think would be cool to talk about. The series that I'm doing is on relationships. Sunny. Oh, cute. I love that name. Sunny. Yeah, so let me know if there's like other topics you want to talk about. If not, I'll definitely conjure one up in my head. But it's I'm not sure how long the series is gonna last, but I'm gonna keep it going as long as we have something to talk about. So relationship series is going on. Next week it'll probably be back on Thursday again. I think that, I don't know, I mean Thursday or Friday is quarantine, we ain't got that much to do, but yeah. And that is all. I think that's everything. Yeah, so thank you guys again so much. Come back again next week on Thursday, 10 p.m. If you want to join in on the conversation. And I love you guys so much. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. And I love you so much.